A very good morning, Encik Muhammad Azif, Ketua Pegawai Operasi Yayasan Inovasi Malaysia, Puan Sharmila Saleh, Senior Manager Projects, YIM, Professors, Doctors, our panel Pakar, Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, staff YIM sekalian, thank you again for being with us at Palace of Golden Horses on the third day of our Bengkel. And first of all, today, I would like to introduce our panel judges for the session. Number one is Encik Muhammad Azif, and also Mr. Culture First. Yay! Thank you. He's the CEO of Tandemic. And we also have Mr. Takuto, but he's not here yet. I'll introduce him to you later once he's here. And without delaying further information, I'll pass the floor to Puan Sharmila to explain to us the flow of the session.
So that's all. If anything, we are here to assist you. Then thank you so much again for the hard work last night. I saw a few of us, a few Pakars also preparing for their marketing plan and do today. So good luck everybody. Then I pass this to Encik Azif. Thank you so much.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to all of you. I hope we're all geared and ready for this morning. I understand this is something that is not typical. It's not something that you do on a daily basis. This is not the normal way of judging a competition, for sure. This is not a typical way that we would select the best projects from a pool of projects. But I believe it's an innovative way. It's something that we should try, and something that perhaps is not as comfortable as we would like it. But kadang-kadang innovation is such. Is uncomfortable. Sometimes innovation is not easy, and it makes you sweat a bit, and it proves that you're alive lah, kan? So if you do things the normal way, perhaps this is not the way we should do it. But if you want to push the boundaries a bit, this is something that I hope both excites you and interests you. Having said that, nothing is compulsory in this world. You know, nothing is sure except for death and taxes. So, if sekiranya there are violent objections for this process, we'll make no judgments whatsoever. It's totally on a voluntary basis, and if you choose not to present today, well and fine, it's not a problem at all. We already have your input and we appreciate everything that you've done already. So, having said that again, I hope we have all 20 presentations today. Kita ada seorang yang Dr. He, who really couldn't make it this morning, so we are not presenting his project that he selected, which was tangki septic individu 3 fasa. So as I understand the process, we've already selected 21 projects. You have already selected the project that resonates most with you, that you feel most attached to, and you have worked on it since yesterday afternoon sampai ke malam. I believe that you've worked on it on how to present this project in the best possible way. So, first of all, I believe we need to select the order in which these projects will be presented, and for that I invite Mr. Azizul to, maybe Cal can do the draws, and then we will, based on the susunan, susunan sekarang mengikut what is on the walls, number 1 till number 21. Number 1 being Akar, how do you pronounce that? And number 21 being Dirty Bikers, and I don't. Okay, so we have 1 to 21, and we will just select according to this Cal's need. So the first project being presented will be project number 1. Just tak boleh lari lah, macam mana pun tak boleh lari juga. Still number 1. And the second project being presented will be number 16, 16, which is Neighborhood Wonders, Neighbor Wonders, number 16. The third one will be 6. Number 6 being Perangkap Kata. Perangkap Kata. Yeah, Perangkap Kata is next. And next will be, tangki septic is not in there. Tak payah. Okay, proceed to the next one. Number 7, nasi lemak wrapper. Number 7, nasi lemak wrapper. After nasi lemak wrapper will be number 17, reka bentuk pembungkusan pitan, ingkabang. Number 17. Seterus itu number 14, bamboo leaves, fish, BLA, green glass. Bamboo leaves ash, bukan fish, ash. 19, next is shampoo rawatan langgir. 19, shampoo. That's Dr. J. Number 13 is serbuk nira, pengeringan sejuk buku vacuum. After that, seterusnya nombor 5, Pizzalicious vending machine. Selepas pizza, number 12 is rumah cendawan mudah alih, number 12. Selepas rumah cendawan mudah alih will be number 11, indikator mengisi air bateri. Selepas air bateri, nombor 11 is number 2, mesin gerudi. Mesin gerudi. Sorry? Sebelum tu 11, bateri. Okay, nombor 12 was mesin gerudi, nombor 2. After mesin gerudi will be number 8, propeller. By Zainal. Selepas itu nombor 20, alat urin wanita. Dan nombor 4 selepas tu, light of life, number 4 by Dr. K. Dan seterusnya number 9, DB emergency light. DB emergency light. Followed by nombor 18, universal dust collector, nombor 18. Dan nombor 3, portable anti-backflow. And your final presentation for the day is number 15, smart smoke ventilator. Last one, cukup? Do we have a complete? Yeah, number 10. Oh, dirty bikers was not. So last kali lah tu, dirty bikers. Kan, so dirty bikers will be the last presentation. Okay, I'll read once again the turutan, the susunan turutan of the project, so you all can know when your projects will be presented. The first will be Professor Dr. Karul Aidil Azlin with Tomakel. Number 2 will be Ahmad Azlan with Neighbor Wonders. Nomor 3 is Profesor Madya R. Dr. Sibarau with Perangkap Kata. Dan kemudian nomor 4 will be nasi lemak, betul, nasi lemak wrapper. Nasi lemak wrapper nombor 4. Nombor 5 is Ramesh with reka bentuk pembungkusan pitan. Nombor 6 is, tak nampak ni, tak kespek, Ajah Zainon with bamboo leaves ash. Confusion. That's number 6. Number 7 is Dr. Janice with shampoo rawatan langgir. Kemudian we have number 8, which is Dr. Azhar dengan serbuk nira. Nira. And number 9 will be mana? Pizza Delicious vending machine by Mohan. Okay, Mohan, number 9. Number 10 is Abu Zarim with rumah cendawan mudah alih. Nombor 11 is Cik Wan with indicator mengisi air bateri. Nombor 12 is Haji Norman dengan mesin gerudi. Betul. Yes, bukan Norman KRU lebih kurang. Nombor 13 is Cik Zainal with propeller. Nombor 14 is nombor 14
alat
urin.
Oh, okay. Mana saya tak nampak langsung. Nombor 20, okay, sorry. Suris with alat urin wanita. Nombor 15 is Dr. Khairul Anwar Rasmani with light of life. 16 will be nombor 16 is Arizan with DB Emergency Light. Okay, that's the next one. Lepas tu number 17 is Syed Hisham with Universal Dust Collector. Number 17. Nombor 18 will be nombor Dr. Ghazali with Portable Anti-Backflow Rubbish Trap. Dr. G. Number 19 is Cik Arjunaidi with Smart Smoke Ventilator. Dan nombor 20 Cik Mahab with Dirty Bikers. Dirty Bikers. Okay, so sekali lagi tepukan yang paling gemuruh untuk anda semua for our presentation which will start shortly. I will now explain to you very briefly the flow of it. Ini tuan-tuan dan puan, doktor, profesor semua. Again, this is not going to be a judgmental thing. Nobody is going to be graded. You're not going to get your score. CGPA anda tidak terjejas daripada proses ini. This is a fun way to see how and which projects and how to get the most backing for a project in a very short time. Sebenarnya entrepreneurs go through this all the time. Ya, apabila mereka jumpa potential funders, dia jumpa potential backers, kalau tu yang dia panggil elevator lift tu. Kalau dalam lift sekalipun, dalam masa 30 saat dia nak cerita projek dia, terpaksa dia ceritakan projek dia. And this is just the life of an entrepreneur. So, we're not trying to make you uncomfortable, we just want to put you in a different perspective supaya kita dapat judge these projects in a different way. And this way is the ability to generate interest and the ability to raise funds. Kita akan memberi, I think at this point in time, mana pegawai-pegawai perbendaharaan kami. Okay, can we introduce our finance, Ministry of Finance officials? Big round of applause to our 3 Ministry of Finance officials. Sila ke hadapan. They have envelopes full of money to give you. They have envelopes containing 10,000 fake dollars. And it's $10,000, silakan dan berikan kepada setiap pakar. Alright, kayalah sekejap. Tak boleh bawa balik duit ni sebab tak laku pun. Duit tu laku kat sini saja. So duit $10,000 ni, YIM currency, it's divided into 2 currencies. Ada yang $500, Yayasan Inovasi Malaysia, ICATS $500, dan juga 5 keping $1,000. Yayasan Inovasi Malaysia currency $1,000. So what you can do with this money is invest in the projects that are being presented. Yeah, so anda ada keberangkalian untuk ada 15 peluang untuk melabur. Yeah, sebab ada 5 keping 1,000, ada 10 keping 500. Betul kan? 10 keping 500 dan 5 keping 1,000. So all of you should have received $10,000. At the end of each presentation, the panel, myself, Cal and Mr. Takuto, or any of you can ask questions for a couple of minutes. Selepas itu, pihak perbendaharaan ini akan keluar dengan kotak kutipan untuk projek tersebut. So they are our agents for fundraising. So apabila mereka pergi ke meja anda, if you are interested to invest, you have a choice. You can give all 10,000 of your dollars in one go. You can give sekeping RM500, atau you tak boleh tak kasih apa-apa langsung. So very clear, the choice is all yours. There's no one, we cannot coerce you to give money to anyone. It's all dependent on the quality of the presentation and the quality of the project based on your eyes. Kali ni tiada grading scheme, tak ada cara permarkahan. All the cara permarkahan is how much money are you willing to give to this project. And that's all up to you. Yeah? Yes, at the end of the day, after all presentations are complete, we will then, in front of everyone, open the boxes again and count how much money they have raised. So it's purely based on the ability to raise funds and the ability to generate interest. We will then, the highest scoring project will receive a piala from us for today. Itulah saja. Yes, questions? Silakan. Very good question. So the one rule to this game is anda tidak boleh melabur kepada projek anda sendiri sebab anda dah labur habis dah jual habis, tinggal spender je ni. So projek ni is your life. Okay, the project that you own now is your blood, sweat and tears. You have gadaikan rumah, you dah jual kereta, anak-anak nak makan pun tak tahu mana nak dapat duit ni sebab you dah invest semua duit you dalam projek ni. Sekarang tinggal your ability to convince kawan-kawan anda ni untuk part with some of this fake money so you can pay your rent this month. Yeah, you can pay your house payments this month, depending on how well you do in this presentation. So like I said, there's no pressure, but okay, silakan.
Can we invest after we listen to all?
No, your choice is you'll be given an opportunity to make a decision based purely on that presentation. So if that presentation is not compelling enough for you, then you move on. I don't know, Carl, do you have any thoughts on this? Should they be able to invest after or during?
After better. I would listen to the T-Bikers. Go to last one.
Because it's very interesting, the T-Bikers.
I think that this would privilege the teams at the beginning if you invested right after the presentations.
Okay, so then let's open up for presentations immediately after, and then when the boxes are up front after the 20th presentation, there's another round. If you still have money in your pockets, if you've not invested everything, to go and put money where you think is right. Okay? Very careful investors. They all want to listen to dirty bikers at the end. Okay, so next question. Ada soalan lagi tadi? Oh, covered already, eh? So that's covered. The time now, according to my watch, is 9:35. We have two very distinguished guests. Hold on.
One of the our experts cannot be fit
Okay.
because he's sick.
Alright.
So
Okay. So dua orang lah tak ada.
side dengan Profi.
Okay, so we're missing two presenters, two projects. Tuan Saif dengan Mr. He, all not available this morning. So, we're down to 19 presentations, yeah? Tuan Saif was nombor berapa tadi? Tuan Saif was number, yeah? 18.
Ini 17
Satu to 21, so tolak 2, 19 lah.
Yeah, betul. So we will push, we'll just go to the next one during that period. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we are very privileged this morning. I believe since we have this opportunity, I think we'll take a bit of time to get to know and to learn a little bit from our two distinguished guests. Yang pertama sekali, first of all, I would like to introduce Mr. Cal Joffers. Cal, please stand up. Big round of applause for Cal. Cal is the CEO of Pandemic. He was actually born in Honolulu, Hawaii, which is actually part of the USA if you don't know. So he was born in America, he was raised in Canada, his parents are French, and somehow he ended up in Malaysia, so I don't know how that happened. But I'll give him an opportunity to speak right after this. Let me introduce to you Mr. Takuto Otomura, all the way from Senawang, no, he's from Tokyo, Japan. He just arrived last time, but he's in and out of Malaysia all the time. He's the CEO of Grandma Inc. Grandma is an organization in Japan that looks and searches for innovations in the Asia-Pacific region. He's also a consultant to many large Japanese corporations who want to learn about the markets in Asia-Pacific, including Malaysia. And he's been in Malaysia many times. He's very well versed in innovations and all that. So, without further ado, let me just give the mic to Mr. Cal first to share with us a little bit about his story.
Sure. So I guess I'll just speak briefly about some of the work that we do. We work very closely with Yim on some of our own innovation programs that focus on university students and getting university students to innovate and to do rapid prototyping over 2.5 days. That's called Make Weekend. But what we also do is we have a technology team and we run something called the Social Innovation Lab. And the Social Innovation Lab is an accelerator, an incubator for social enterprises. I just sent out an email actually yesterday. 2 of our initiatives have hit some major milestones. So Do Something Good is a volunteering platform that Social Innovation Lab created. We just hit 20,000 volunteers. We also run Hati.my, which is Malaysia's largest open database of NGOs. That just hit 1,000 NGOs last week. And we do work with private organizations. So for example, one of the projects that we're currently working on is figuring out how to redesign financial literacy education for university students. And we're doing that within major international banks. So that's the kind of innovation work that we do at Tandemic and at the Social Innovation Lab.
Okay, great, thanks, Kak. Now for the number one, Mr. Takuto Motomura.
So, as they've just introduced me about here, my work, so we are really keen to find out the really good innovation, including the grassroots innovation. Recently, just we work with the more than like 15 Japanese companies like Panasonic and the Fujitsu, and mainly like we are looking forward to opportunity in terms of the innovation. One is the solution, like kind of solution system. And the second one is kind of design-oriented, like product-based innovation. So, for example, like one is we're looking for some opportunity in healthcare, the field in India. So we're just introducing now the elevated medical platform to especially the rural side of India with Fujitsu. As you know, the Fujitsu is one of the biggest IT company. As they're kind of providing it's a crowdsourcing business platform. So we just once generate the information from even the poor people and the especially rural side, and it gathers through the one social workers we call ASHA, ASHA. So they have more than like 800,000 ASHA in the field of the rural side. So we just collaborate with those social workers with the ICT. And get the information and also describe what they really need. So those are now in an ongoing project with a big company. And also we have Panasonic to develop some solar lantern lights and solar home system. Those are really needed. Actually, Malaysia doesn't need it anymore, even in the rural side. Its power is already supplied. But in India or Myanmar, those are really worse than here. But we just provide that kind of system. Then, since we organized some really small program the last year, corresponding with the BIF 2012, and also thanks to the ASEAN understanding, and we just invite more than like 30 delegates from 12 Asian countries to discuss how to deliver the glass-based innovation to the market, the global, so like G2G model. Actually, we still pursue that kind of decent model, but we will find out that then it's a really, really good opportunity for me to be here because you guys, since that's yesterday, I just heard some of your discussion. Then you're more focused on the glass-based global, how to do that, and corresponding with the support of the government, which is a really good initiative. So maybe it is better to finish. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, the time has arrived for us to begin our session, which is a pitching session. Again, we called it a role-playing session for a reason, because we're not judging you as a person, as a professor, as a doctor, as anyone. We're judging the project that you are representing. You are playing the role of a promoter and of an entrepreneur. You are owning these projects, and we will then make our judgments on investing in your project or not based on those presentations. So I'm going to leave the floor to Diana, who will be running the proceedings from now on. There's going to be 5-minute warning for the presentations. You probably would have conveyed the key messages within 5 minutes already. If you need, you can take probably another minute up beyond that 5 minutes for you to discuss and present. So then the panel, who is sitting pretty here, myself, Cal and Takuto, are playing the role of Paula Abdul. If you've watched American Idol, Paula Abdul is the kind one, giving encouragement and telling you nice things, and we're all Paula Abduls today. So no Simon Cowell is going to be available, but if anyone else from the floor has questions, we'll give up to 2 or 3 minutes beyond this round. So in total, your presentation will be 10 minutes max. At 10 minutes, the mic will be cut off. You will be escorted off stage even though you're crying and screaming. So at 10 minutes, the mic is cut off. You have to leave the floor. So, having said that, please, any questions?
I have a suggestion. Why not why not dalam duit ni kita taruh nama kita belakang. At least kita melabur tu somewhere we know. Just for fun.
Siapa yang minat?
Nanti boleh dapat return.
Okay, Shu is the timekeeper. Okay, the suggestion is to not have anonymous votes. Now you want to name your votes. Any other views on that? Any pros and cons in this approach?
Confident ada bayar.
I think again in the spirit of volunteerism, all you volunteering your Sundays here, whoever wants to do it can. We will collate that data and we will share with all of you as well. But if you don't want to and you want to vote anonymously, it's up to you as well. Up to you. So about what will happen after this, I mean we're going to collect some good data on which projects actually generate the most number of interest. Kalau kita nak namakan diri kita so you know where your money goes pun, bagus juga. Bagus juga. You can trace which groups goes to where. Tapi remember, you cannot put money in your own box. That one is an honest system lah. I'm not gonna, tak ada serial number pun duit ni kan. So aku pun tak tahu. So but you don't put money in your own box. Itu saja.
Check and balance.
Check and balance dia kata letak nama. So you can letak nama right now if you want to. Okay, so timekeeper will be Shu. At 5 minutes sharp, she will ting the ni. You can stop there if you want. If you still have a couple of points to deliver, please do. The whole room will be very supportive to everyone. I don't think this is an adversarial group, so we will be very supportive of all the projects. Don't worry about that. The judge will be, show me the money. Kan, how much money can you raise? Itu saja. So without further ado, I hand over the floor to Diana Yang. Silakan.